Welcome to the Henry Beaufort School presentation for Year 5 parents and their children. My name is Miss Hurl and I am very proud and privileged to be the head teacher at the Henry Beaufort School. I am so sorry that I am unable to speak to you in person this year, but I hope that this presentation will go some way to exploring our school for you in the hope that you will be able to visit us in person in September. So what do we stand for at the Henry Beaufort School? It starts with our 3 key principles of pride, happiness and ambition. We want our young people to be proud of the uniform that they wear, proud of what it represents. Of course, we want them to be happy. We know that students learn best when they're coming into school happy and looking forward to the day. But most of all, I want our young people to be ambitious. Ambitious for their learning, for the opportunities that they can take when they are at our school, for their futures, so that when they leave us at 16, they are looking forward to what the future will bring, both in terms of their wider contribution to our community and to their own careers and goals for the future. It would be very easy for me to focus just on our GCSE results, and I will come to those a little later on in this presentation. But I want to assure you that our school is much more than a set of brilliant GCSE results. We want our young people to become well-rounded, articulate people who are at ease in their wider community and their place in the community. We believe our innovative and dynamic 5-year curriculum has never been more relevant at a time when all young people need to feel confident about their ability to learn and make progress in their studies and in their wider social interactions. What this means for our curriculum is that we have no intention of narrowing that curriculum down just because our young people choose their GCSE options for the end of Year 8. It really is about a 5-year learning journey. Option choices are then complemented with opportunities to continue learning across the broad range of subjects studied at the Henry Beaufort School. For example, not everybody will want to go on and study GCSE music, but the contribution of music to our cultural awareness and our wider social interaction is so important that we believe that a study of music should continue beyond Year 8. This is done in a very different and dynamic way. Workshops, musicians visiting, opportunities to go to concerts, and that's just one subject area to give you an example of what we mean by that broad and balanced curriculum across all of the 5 years. Earlier in this presentation, I spoke about our commitment to you. This starts with our common aims and goals. We love what we do. My colleagues enter this profession because they have a love of learning and they want to share that love of learning so that our young people can experience the wonder of increasing their learning, their skills, their knowledge and exploring new experiences. So how do we know that learning is leading to progress? Well, you will receive a report for every term for every year that your child is at our school. We will have an annual parents' evening, which we call progress evening, and what we will make sure is that throughout the year, through that data in the reports, we are tracking your child's progress. So if we feel that they are underperforming at all, we can act immediately rather than waiting for an end of year exam to tell us something that we could have rectified perhaps in the autumn term. This intervention may take the form of one-to-one work, small group work, or it might be as simple as just asking your child to attend Home Learning Club so they can receive some extra support and intervention. Likewise, if the data is showing that your child is making exceptional progress That will mean that we can put in additional challenge and support for your child to make sure that that progress continues throughout the year. Last year, we introduced a revision organiser handbook to complement all classwork so that our young people can begin to learn the strategies for long-term memory retention right from the start of Year 7. Being part of the wider community is very important for our school, and we understand how much that community, that wider community, has shrunk for our young people in the last 18 months. We all appreciate that resilience has been a key factor to coping with the last 18 months, and our young people have shown this consistently. They have put up with so much that has shrunk our world. Now we need to make sure that we open up that world for them. Part of that, of course, is making sure that they receive and obtain really good GCSE results. The results in front of you are the results for 2020. In 2021, it will be the second year that the school has followed a robust process to award GCSE results without exams. We are confident that our trajectory of success is continuing and is in line with our 3-year trend, and we are looking forward to a very positive set of results this August. So where does it all start? Well, it starts with the Henry Beaufort learning ethos and something called HB squared, Henry Beaufort habit building. And it has 4 key principles, as you can see in our poster. We focus on reflective learning, mutual learning, resourcefulness, and the one I always save to last because it's my favourite, getting unstuck. So what does that look like? Well, imagine a group of students are going into a science lab and it is set up for work in groups of 4. And the teacher will say, there's a problem on each of the tables that you're going to work together in your groups of 4 to try and resolve. And to start with, you're not going to be able to ask me any questions. You're going to try and resolve it by looking at your HB squared principles. So, already we have mutual learning, students working as a team in their groups of 4. They may be reflective. They may think, I'm going to look back in my exercise book and see if the work that we have already undertaken this term can help me get to the bottom of this problem. They'll show resourcefulness. They may ask to go to the library to do some research. They may ask to get onto the computers so that they can do some research that way. They may look at the posters around the room and the displays, which might also give them some clues. But above all, what they are doing is helping themselves get unstuck, and in so doing they are building resilience into their learning, which is a fundamental skill that they will need for passing any exam. We know how many factors and how many different factors go into ensuring students' success, not just in terms of their academic success, but in their growing up, their reaching adolescence, coming through the other side of adolescence and going out to be really important citizens in our wider community. Our focus on health and well-being has never been more important, and we continue to look at ways in which to support students, both individually but also as year groups, through the work that we do on our personal development days. We want you to feel very much a part of our school, and we do hope that that doesn't mean that you have to be too much of a taxi service. So we try to support you in ensuring that there is a bus service 3 evenings a week that means that every child who wishes to can stay after school for after-school activities. And of course, we want to make sure that you are fully informed about what each year will involve for your child. So we have an annual information evening, sometimes at the start of the year, or for example in Year 10, a little bit later on in the year, when we talk to you about work experience, which happens towards the end of Year 10. When I talk about a curriculum fit for purpose, What I mean is the way in which we reflect and review our offer to our young people year on year, so that when they are choosing their options at year 8, we know that we are offering them a broad and balanced suite of qualifications that suits all of our learners. Most recently, we've introduced statistics and business studies, which is always an oversubscribed choice for our young people. But we know too that it's important to balance out the very intense academic subjects that require a lot of written work with the opportunity to do more practical subjects, which is why we introduced GCSE photography and child development and health and social care. We're really keen to develop our language base, and we have started lessons after school in Mandarin. We do hope that that will eventually move to a GCSE, but we have been stalled a little at present by the last 18 months. But we have reintroduced our lessons after school for Mandarin. And of course you want to know that your child can have that independent careers advice to help them look at what they might do post 16 and the qualifications that will help shape their future ambitions. On this slide, I've just given you an indication of the kind of comments that are made to me year on year. Each term I hold what I call student voice forums, and I meet with perhaps a particular year group or a particular subject area with students who are currently in that area, and I find out about what it's like to be a student at the Henry Beaufort School. Needless to say, they have lots to tell me, but that's important. Our school improvement plan is often shaped by what they tell me, and we reflect on at the senior leadership level of what we need to do to make our school even better. I think also on this slide, I like the fact that it demonstrates the way in which our students mature from year 7 to year 10. And I'm very proud of a number of students in year 10 who talk about wanting to give something back to the school by becoming a student leader. I'm delighted that this is the feedback from our young people, that they like and value challenge and that they view ambition as a positive attribute. Providing the right learning environment for our young people is vital to our success. I've mentioned to you already about Home Learning Club, which happens every night after school. But we also want our young people to have that contribution to their school through the whole school council, representatives from each year group, looking at the way in which they can become involved in after school opportunities. And when we can get back to this, residential trips, not just in this country, but also in other countries. We are really looking forward to re-engaging with our annual ski trip and our biannual trip to New York. We recognise that the issues that impact on society must also be addressed in school. And ERA is a group of students who have taken on the importance of promoting to us all diversity and embracing diversity. As well as our personal development days, we also have cultural capital days, and this is the opportunity for students who have dropped a subject to continue to study it in a different way. And we also make sure that there are opportunities for other qualifications, particularly for music and drama. Sport is a core activity at the Henry Beaufort School. If there is a sport that the students are interested in, our PE team will do their best to accommodate it. We have all the traditional sports, football, rugby, cricket, for both boys and girls. But we try to make a variety of interest for sport. Boxercise, climbing, just 2 examples of the diversity of our sporting opportunities. But all of our sport is celebrated in our annual Sports Award evening, and there's even an award for the most supportive parent. I am very proud of the number of our young people who go on to study at either Oxford or Cambridge. But that's not the only route to success, and we are delighted with the range of opportunities that our students embrace when they go on to not just post-16 education, but to university and to the world of work. And it is really important through our careers programme that we encourage them to follow their dreams and ambitions. We are not a one-size-fits-all school. We are committed to exploring the potential of all of our young people. We want them to be happy, fulfilled, independent learners. Successful learners make successful members of society. And after all, that is something that we want for all of our children. We very much hope to be able to welcome you to our school site in person in September. More detailed information about these open events will be posted on our website in the coming months. We do hope you will take the opportunity to visit us in the morning and to tour the school on a normal working morning, and also to have the opportunity to meet with myself and my senior leadership colleagues so that we can discuss with you anything that may be relevant to you and your child. Thank you very much for your time, and I do hope that this presentation has been useful for both you and your child. I look forward to welcoming you in person to our site in September. Thank you. Goodbye.